percentage of the blame does Tom Brady deserve for this loss?
90.
90?
90, because that's the percent of the credit you would have given him had they won. Just like you did the week before. You talked about how he was throwing to these guys. Once Mike Evans got ejected from the game, you talking about he throwing to Brett Perriman. Brett Perriman, you like that? He was on the street. You could have had him for nothing. The same guys he was throwing to yesterday. Jalen Darden, he had Cole Beasley. Now, Cole Beasley, I think he in Tom Brady's doghouse because on a 3rd and 7, he caught a 5-yard route and went down before someone tackled him. And Tom Brady like to lost his mind. I thought Tom Brady was going to lose his mind on that play.
I thought he was going to throw a couple of tackles.
And then next thing you know, Jalen Darden's in the game.
Jalen Darden is the kick returner. Thank you.
So that means he's shifty. You can't be very few inline kick returners. But Skip, he had 6 points up until the last drive. This is what the offense has given you thus far this year: 19 points, 13 points, and 12 points. The defense did an outstanding job, and the defense did it again. Green Bay looks like they're about to go in and put the nail in the coffin. They're about to get 3, at bare minimum, they're about to get 3 points. And then Vita Vea, who, they ran a little zone dogs, Vita Vea dropped out, and Jones turns his back, Vita Vea hits him in the back, they fumble the football on the 1 and the 2 yard line. They shouldn't have even been in the game. Prior to the last drive, he had 191 yards. Got 80 on the last drive, had a respectable day. But, Skip, if you look at it, everything is short fishing. Nothing is deep. Outside of the first pass to Perriman, everything was up underneath. That's why you get Justin Gage has 12 catches for 87 yards. That's 7 yards a catch. And then I should have gave him 100% of the blame. Now that I'm thinking about
go ahead, do it.
I will give him 95% of the blame. You know why? Because he took a delay of the game. You see the clock running out. You know, okay, we're down 8 points. We got to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Most teams have, I would feel very comfortable saying they have at least, at the bare minimum, 3 2-point plays. And if you have to use more than that, you're probably going to run your basic offense, something that you run on short down, something you run on third down, 3rd and short. But anyway, 3rd and 1 to 3, excuse me. That's considered short. And then you get a delay of game. You moving people around. Tom, the clock is ticking. Tom, you doing all this. Well, clearly you're not, because the tick, 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 tick. And it looked like he wanted to call a timeout, but he didn't have any. He didn't have any, Skip. So he got to bear this one. That defense was outstanding again. Anytime you can hold one of these great quarterbacks, you hold a Rodgers, you hold a Mahomes, you hold a Josh Allen, you hold any of these top-flight quarterbacks, or Lamar Jackson, or it looked like Jalen Hurts about to get in that category the way he's been playing. We're going to talk about him a little later, Skip. Anytime you can...
Wait, who first guessed that? Oh, I did. Go ahead. Yeah.
Anytime you can hold one of these great quarterbacks and you hold them to 14 or fewer points, 2 touchdowns, that's a game you should win, especially when you're at home. So I'm giving him as much blame, 95%, as Skip Bayless would have given him credit like he did against New Orleans because he made the throw. You remember? I said, Skip, but he made the throw. Okay, so he didn't make the throw. 95%.
So here we go again. For 6 straight years on this show, Shannon Sharpe has attempted to retire Tom Brady because he's in quote-unquote decline. His arm talent is declining. His overall command of the game is declining, says Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, 6 straight years. And you know what? It may be 4 more years before you're finally right, because at some point, Father Time will be on your side. But at this point, you're dead wrong again, because the Brady I saw yesterday was flat out masterful. What? The Brady I saw yesterday played one of, if not the greatest, regular season game he's ever played under the circumstances. I'll start with the Bucs defense. It was so great that Mr. Dink and Dunk Aaron Rodgers, he was dinking and dunking so much I thought he had 2 D's in his last name. He's got 1 D, but it should have been Roddgers because he was Mr. Dink and Dunk yesterday, and he dinked and dunked right down the field. It should have been 21-3. Right. And Tom Brady, under these circumstances, was not coming back from 21-3 down. And the guy I always make the case for is the more valuable Aaron, as in Jones, couldn't hang on to the football, as you point out, at the goal line, or it's 21-3. Now, let's look at the circumstances, shall we? Who were the top 4 receivers for Tom Brady last year? Oh, we could start with Mike Evans, suspended. We could go to Chris Godwin, out still with a hamstring pull. We could certainly go to Gronk, who did make an appearance at the game yesterday, which might be significant. Maybe he's getting the itch to come back. His agent continues to say, Drew Rosenhaus, don't count him out. No Gronk, and obviously there's no Antonio Brown because I'm pretty sure he's finally retired, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the top 4 receivers of Tom Brady just a year ago. So who is he throwing to yesterday? He has to move Russell Gage, newly added from Atlanta, to a split receiver. He's nothing but a slot receiver. He's never been anything but a slot receiver in his life. And you got to put him X, Y, you got to move him around and make him split because you've brought in off the couch last Monday Cole Beasley. Nobody wanted Cole Beasley. And Tom Brady said, I'm so desperate, let me try, and maybe he's got about a half an Amendola or Edelman in him. Maybe he's got like a third of Edelman in him. Okay. And you have to stick him in the slot. He doesn't even know the plays. And I'm about to get to the play. And now you're forced to use Jalen Darden, who has no business playing receiver at receiver, because little Scotty Miller just looks more lost than ever. And Brady threw him 5 balls, and he caught 1 for 4 yards yesterday because he can't run routes except for go routes. And if you can sneak up on somebody, that's fine. But when he's called upon to be the starting X or the Y, you're dead in the water against a Green Bay defense that is really good.
Well, Skip, he can run, but the thing is that they got physical with him. If you see what Douglas...
Hey, everybody, he just got up on him.
You got to put hands on him.
He's 5'8", 170 pounds. You put body on him. You just got to body him up, and he just gets lost inside your body. Right. It was like shocking, and Brady threw him a couple of balls that were catchable footballs, and he just couldn't go up and get him because he's not really a receiver. He's a sprinter, and he can run 4.3, but you can only ask him to sneak up on people like he did on the Raiders one night or in Green Bay in the NFC Championship game. If you're not watching and you
run by you.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, he'll just sprint right past you, and he can catch deep balls because if you just throw it in his breadbasket, he can catch that. Okay, now what is Brady up against in his starting offensive line? He's down to his third string blind side protector. Somebody named Brandon Walton is an undrafted free agent rookie this year out of Florida Atlantic. He is starting at left tackle. What are you talking about? Because next to him is another rookie who's starting at guard. And next to that guard is a center who's playing in his 3rd game ever as a center in the 2nd year out of Notre Dame, Robert Hainsey, he was drafted as a tackle, then they moved him to guard, and now he's playing starting center for Tom Brady in the game of the year against Aaron Rodgers. Are you kidding me? The degree of difficulty in this game was off the charts for Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
The same degree of difficulty that you came out here last Monday and raved about, because now they were back because Wells...
I'm still raving.
Hold on. Wells got injured in the New Orleans game, and Walton came in. Godeke was at the left guard. The Hainsey was at the center. Everything else was according to plan. And then he had to throw to Perriman. He had to throw to Gage. He had to throw to all the guys that you're demonizing now. He praised on Tom Brady for finding those guys last week.
He pulled it off at New Orleans against his kryptonite, his nemesis.
Okay, so since he didn't pull it off, I need you to give him blame like you gave him credit.
We're about to get to why he didn't pull it off. At one point, he throws it to Bashard Perriman, and if we could see this play, please. This is a big completion with a big gain, and all of a sudden what happens? He fumbles the football. This is what you can't do in a game of this magnitude against a team like Green Bay. That's it. Okay, you're going to get points. That's to the 25-yard line, and all of a sudden it's going the other way.
Well, how'd you get the ball, Skip? Because Aaron Jones fumbled. That's how you got the ball.
All right. And then Russell Gage, he seems like a nice young man. He tries hard. He took it really hard, but this is 11:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Let's see what happens on a pass that he caught and started to run with, and then what happened, if we could see what happened to Russell Gage. This is a crucial play in the game. He's inside for one step. He's inside Green Bay territory, and he fumbles. You're going to lose. In a game like this that's a defensive battle, you're going to lose the game if 2 of your young receivers fumble the football. You can't overcome it. Did Tom Brady throw any interceptions yesterday? No. I think not. Did you see Tom Brady's starting field position yesterday? Did anybody but me notice? I think I was the only one who noticed. Do you realize in 12 possessions, his starting field position was the 20-yard line, but that includes the one where they picked off Aaron Rodgers. Logan Ryan got him, just snaked him, and that gave them the ball at the Green Bay 47. If I take that one away, the starting field position for Tom Brady was the 17 on 11 possessions. It's impossible. You're up against it with nobody's at receiver. I used to say 3 guys from Dorchester up in New England.
They're better than those guys, right?
These guys are even worse than the 3 guys from Dorchester, these 3 guys from Sarasota.
But see, that's what you have to do because Tom Brady has made a living off short fields. And so the defense takes the ball away. Tom Brady has to go 20, 30 yards, and he has a touchdown. Now they're making Tom Brady, it's like, look, at worst case scenario, let's punt the ball, let's pin them down, make them go, because we already know he's a shore fisherman. He's not a deep sea fisherman.
Well, who's he going to throw to? Who's his deep fish?
Whoa.
Well, wait until he gets Godwin back. Wait until he gets Mike Evans back.
But that's not.
Just
that's
wait.
Not, Skip, that's not God. Godwin is really not. Godwin is in the slot. Very few teams throw the ball deep to the slot guy. Now, yes, he'll try to catch you getting nosy, and he'll try to hit Mike Evans over the top. But they Skip, because Tom Brady doesn't want to get hit. And when you don't want to get hit, you want the ball to come out quick. And if the ball comes out quick, you're not throwing go routes with 3 steps. That's not happening. You're not throwing post routes with 3 steps. So that's not happening. So he wants shallow crosses. He wants smoke screen, bubble screen things, swings to the back out of the backfield. So they're making him use 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays. We're not giving you the one big play. But I just, like I said, Skip, last week you was out here crowing. That was the best game I've ever seen him throw.
Yeah, well,
that one
right
big time.
This was flat out masterful. And by the way, he played the whole game with his ring finger taped up.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe it was an omen. I don't know.
Y'all keep see.
It's all taped up, and they said he was shaking it all week in practice.
I'm trying to figure out why we never got any of these injuries in New England.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we got to find an excuse because if he win, it was his ring finger. If this didn't go wrong, so let me guess. I guess it was the knee brace because you remember he ran, and he slid, and the knee brace got crooked.
I'm glad you brought that up.
That might have been like the whole day.
Could we see that play, please? Because would you believe that the Buccaneers, a team that I picked to win the Super Bowl, had a grand total of 34 yards rushing? Can we see the one Brady rushed? This would have been by far the longest Bucs play of the day, rushing the football. Here he goes. This is a 3rd and 3, and he says, nope, and I duck, and I go. And I thought he ran pretty well. That looked better than the 40-yard dash when he was a rookie.
It looked exactly like the 40-yard dash.
He jammed his knee brace in and shattered and tore it all apart. The point is, that's his run game yesterday. 34 yards rushing? Are you kidding me? And you want to talk about degree of difficulty? He doesn't even have, like, at least at Dallas against Micah and company, he got 104 from Leonard Fournette.
120-something.
Maybe it's 120, but yesterday he gets 34 total because he gets 12 carries for 35 yards from Leonard Fournette. That's 2.9 per carry.
Yeah.
How do you even survive? And then right on cue, what does Thomas Edward Patrick Brady do? At the end of the game, they're stuck. They're 89 yards away. 89 yards away against a defense he hasn't been able to crack all day.
Right.
And in 13 plays, he goes all the way down and scores a touchdown.
Right.
Unbelievable to cut it to 14-12. And if we could see the touchdown pass to, guess who, Russell Gage, it's a sweet throw because it is a tight window, and he has to sort of back shoulder the throw to Russell Gage because the safety's going to lurk and come right inside. And so he has to throw it to the back shoulder, and he throws a fastball.
Douglas, go back to the middle.
Yep.
I don't know what Douglas is waiting on. His guy's blocking.
Okay.
You got to drift back to the middle.
All right.
And the back goes away. Come on, Douglas.
Okay. Well, Douglas didn't get there on time because Brady's still got a really nice arm.
Oh, my goodness. Now you got a nice arm.
So now we get down to what's happening on the delay. Can we look at it, please, what's happening? Because obviously, first of all, the play comes in late. That's Byron Leftwich's fault. I'm sorry. Well, it was. It obviously came in late because he didn't have the time he should have had. Then he's trying to move receivers around.
Well, first of all, Skip, the pass before that, the touchdown was a delay of game.
It was not a delay of game. It was not a delay of game. Mike Pereira said on Fox, nope, you get the grace period of the 1 second when the ref's eyes are going from the clock to the quarterback. And Mike Pereira, the great Mike Pereira, Mikey Rulebook, he said on Fox it was definitely not a delay of game.
Well, Skip?
And Aaron Rodgers trying to take credit after the game. I noticed something up on the Jumbotron. I told him that it should have been delayed game. What are you talking about? So what? So they got it right the next time because they were looking for it. Baloney.
Yeah. All I'm saying is this. The play came in. Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, the play did come in. Why the hell are you still trying to move the chess pieces? Why are you still trying to go through everything with all the checks?
Okay.
Get the play run.
Okay,
That's on him.
Here's the problem. He's trying to move receivers who don't even know what the play is. Cole Beasley is in the game. He's over on split left. He has no idea what's going on, and Brady's trying to get him to go in motion, and he's looking at him like, I don't know what the play is.
What?
He was on his couch a week ago today, and nobody wanted him.
Okay, well, why are you moving Leonard Fournette? Why is Leonard Fournette moving? He knows the play is.
No, well, they start to move, and then Brady glances and says, light box, I could just give it to Lenny, and he can just blast it right down the middle, and we were going to score. And I think he would have scored.
You don't got a minute.
Okay.
You don't have a minute to run the play, all that adjusting.
Then he's trying to make sure that the flanks get the play.
Skip,
and he's saying, do you guys understand? And they're all looking at him like, no, we don't get it.
No, Skip, but you can't do that. You can't make sure everybody, the clock, the tick, 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 tick. You're trying to do all that like you got 40 seconds. You don't. You realize that when you went to the line, you only had 10 seconds.
You realize you're trying to explain this to, by far, the greatest quarterback who ever played. A guy who's 45 years old and who's won 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah, the same guy that wanted to call a timeout, but they didn't have any. The same guy that lost track of downs against Chicago.
When he got concussed.
You know, I'm just saying. So, yes, I'm trying to explain it to him that you got to speed the process up because you don't have time.
Okay, finally. He claps for the football. And guess who the center is? It's Robert Hainsey, drafted out of Notre Dame to be a tackle. And he's a third game center of his life, and he doesn't snap it fast enough. He should have just snapped it. He should watch the clock and just go ahead and snap the football.
That man can't be watching the clock.
He can do it. He's a veteran center, a Pro Bowl center. Yes, he would have.
Skip.
Yes, he would have. He would protect his quarterback.
What he's looking for, okay, we've identified the mic. Which way are we going to slide? We're sliding left, we're sliding right, yada, yada, yada. Tom is checking. Tom is like, okay, we got what we want. He looks between his legs. And once he looks back up, Skip, he doesn't see Tom because he looks between his legs. Tom, you ready? Tom's ready. Now Tom is snapping the ball like he's trying to kickstart a motorcycle. Nah, it's too late. You should have went into that at 5 seconds. Okay. But no, Tom want to go through all these checks. Let me show you how smart I am. Hey, Leonard, come right here.
You know what, Shannon? He's really smart.
Skip, he is.
Yeah, it's almost like it's so blasphemous. You are criticizing one of the smartest quarterbacks in history.
Yes, Skip, he's not beyond reproach. He messed this play up, just like Russell Wilson, just like a lot of other quarterbacks have gotten delays of game. Tom Brady's not exempt.
Ryan Jensen would have snapped that football. You know it, and I know it. He's just going to snap it.
Skip, Ryan Jensen's not in there.
That's the problem.
No.
It is miraculous that he got them to that point. Miraculous.
Again, you put in the blame. Tom Brady can do no wrong in your eyes. Even when it's his fault, you will find somebody else to blame.
Did he throw 3 interceptions?
It doesn't matter.
He didn't throw 1.
Did he win?
Did he fumble the snap? No, he didn't do any of that.
See, here's the thing. But when other quarterbacks do this and they lose, and I say, did they throw? No, but they didn't win. Brady would have found a way to win this game. Brady didn't find a way to win the game. He got the delay of the game late in the ball game. He had done nothing up until the final drive. And you keep talking about they were dinking and dunking in that defense. The defense gave up 14 points. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to win that ball game at home when your defense only gives up 14. Tom Brady did not play well.
Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football, a transcendent thrower of the football, has to score more than 14 points at Tampa.
I just have to score more than what you score. Skip,
I've used that argument back to you numerous times.
And I said, okay, Skip, if me and you in the forest and we're running from a bear, I don't need to be Usain Bolt. I just need to be able to outrun you. Okay. So I don't need to run the world class. I just need to beat you.
So you think Brady was really great when he beat the Rams 13-3, right?
Skip. But that's what I'm saying. I said Brady didn't play well. You said he played well enough to win. You talk about the great throws. See, the problem that I have is that you never give these guys credit when Brady wins. You don't mention that offensive line. You don't mention those receivers. You talk about the greatness of Tom Brady when he loses. Or look at Cole Beasley. Hold on.
And at least you had Mike Evans for most of the game at New Orleans.
But what, Skip? Amendola and Edelman and Wes Welker, they are what they are. You look at them because they weren't Julio or they weren't Cooper Kupp, is that they're not very good. But for what the Patriots needed, they were great.
Remember what happened on opening night when he did have Julio Jones? Remember the 48-yarder at Dallas against Micah's defense? You don't think Brady can go long to him? You don't think Brady will go long to Mike Evans? He doesn't have any deep weapons. So you say he can't deep sea fish. With what bait? What pole? He's fishing with his hand with minnows.
Hey, Skip, it's okay. He don't got the yacht to go out there and get the deep water.
No, he does not. And finally, in the end, I'm going to give you this. On the 2-point try, I think he knew, because he felt like as he rolled out that he can trust only one receiver, so he ran Russell Gage all the way across the back line, trying to look for him and trying to drop it in. And
Russell Gage starts in a short motion. He starts in zip motion.
Yeah, but he ran him to the back line.
Yes.
And the point is, he's got Fournette sitting. Fournette sat down at the goal line, and he went straight to him, and you can see him ask, were you open? Do you think you were open?
Well, that don't do me no good now.
Okay, I got it. But to me, if I can second guess one thing that he did, if he had pump faked one time to Russell Gage and just sat down and fired a strike to Fournette.
Are you second guessing Tom Brady, one of the smartest quarterbacks ever played?
This isn't smartness. This is what was there for him.
He
get locked in on, but you don't think of Fournette as a receiver who can actually run routes. He's just a swing pass receiver.
Okay, hey, throw it to him. I mean, he's looking right after you. He should be able to catch that one.
Yeah, he just stopped cold just beyond the goal line and turned and stopped cold. And maybe Brady could have fired a low strike in like he used to do to Edelman and Amendola and hope that Fournette could go down and pick it off the target.
No, Skip. You got to try to hit him in that's not what Leonard Fournette is.
I got it. Well, that's the whole argument here.
So how much blame are you giving? I didn't hear the blame. How much blame? What percent?
I'll give him, because he's the starting quarterback, I'll give him 50%.
Oh, hell no. Nah. You didn't give him 50. Hold on. You gave him 85 to 90% last week for the win. But you only giving him 50% for the loss?
Well, he won last week.
Well, so he lost.
But this degree of difficulty was even worse than last week.
And he lost this week.
Barely.
95.
Yeah, he lost it on an aborted delay.
Whoa. He did that.
The center just has to snap that.
No, Tom Brady got to get it quick. Speed it up. He wanted to call a timeout, too.
Shannon, he's not going home. You're going to have to deal with him the rest of the year, and it's only going to get better and better, because they're going to get healthier and healthier and healthier.
What about these 19, 13, and 12 points he scored?
Yeah, against Micah's defense and his nemesis defense.
Is he the GOAT or is he not? Is he the GOAT or is he not?
Well,
okay, so don't give me...
Why do you even ask the question?
Don't give me...
You're going to get struck by lightning asking the question.
I don't want to hear nothing about how great the defense is if he's the GOAT. The GOATs don't concern themselves about the pasture. They just eat.
Well,
is he going to eat or not?
He's in decline, says Shannon Sharpe.
And I love every second of it, but we got to wrap. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.